Hello everyone, Ishani here. Thank you so much for stopping by. This is the unedited recording of my live workshop on 18th July where we created these fruity cards. I am doing it just because some of my favorite participants of my workshops requested. So if you have time, I hope you will enjoy watching this. You can even play it at 2x speed. Since this is a live recording, the audio and video quality aren't perfect, which is why I'd love to have you join me live in my upcoming workshops. Live participants also get a 20% discount on Altenew supplies when they register early, so you can craft along with me. You'll find the complete supply list as a free PDF in the description box. And also the upcoming workshops are linked in the pinned comment. Now let's get started and I hope you enjoy the workshop.
Okay. So is there somebody who's not using the fruits and flowers craft your life kit? Because if everybody is using this, then we don't have to talk much about anything else.
I'm not using it. I'm using the hibiscus set. I have that one.
All right. Okay. So you have something that you can.
I have a little
For the
pineapple from a
pineapple.
different manufacturer.
Ah. All right. Good. So
Ishani,
yes, please.
Tanya here. You're taping it so you can share it amongst us if I have to cut off early?
Tanya, if you have to cut off early, then I will give you the unedited version.
That's all I want. I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. So for my background here on this card, I have actually done some clear heat embossing with these solid stamps. Solid stamps, some of my friends, they themselves say that they don't like solid stamps. They feel like the possibility with a solid stamp is very low. But I feel solid stamps are perfect for, you can like if this could be a lavender branch, you could do light and dark purples and stamp it and it'll give a great variation. I love solid stamps. And one of the amazing things about clear embossing a solid stamp is that you just get a subtle background without doing much of the hard work. So if I don't know if you can see, I have these little branches and this small foliage stamped at all the four corners of my card. So we'll start with this. Use an anti-static powder before you do the heat embossing. First, we are doing clear heat embossing. And if we do not put good amount of anti-static powder, the clear, it may stick around and then your card will not be very neat. So to ensure the neatness, we use anti-static powder. People who have their fans on, they can reduce the speed or switch it off for a little while because my clear embossing powder can fly away. So I am going to switch off mine. And just with a stamping block, I'm going to randomly add some foliage around my cardstock. And you can actually use your stamping platform for this.
Ishani, what stamp set was that? I had to step away.
I'm sorry. So you had to step away. So this is the stamp set, the fruits and flowers. We'll just take these foliage and we're going to stamp it on the corners of our cardstock in
Thank you.
embossing it and do clear heat embossing with it. And we can use the same. It is just to fill up our background. And if you want to skip it, you don't want to fill your card much, you're more of a clean and simple person, you can do that as well.
Thank
This
you.
is just, all right, my pleasure. So just because we have so many clear, these solid stamps, I'm changing for all the four corners, I'm changing my foliage. But you can just keep repeating the same as well.
Mhm.
And you may be thinking that, I've not put my embossing powder yet. But just because this is background and I have a mission to finish these three cards in 2 hours, I am not taking my own sweet time to, stamp and then emboss. I'm just going to stamp and emboss them all together. And even if you just kept it like this, you already have the color of the cardstock has changed. But adding a clear powder to it will add a little gloss and make this stamped image more visible. So I have added my clear embossing powder and I have some fingerprints which I am going to take off with a brush. All the stray embossing powder is off. And you switch on your heat gun, heat tool, and let it get warm a bit. And then bring the gun towards the cardstock and heat it longer. We just need the upper area to be stamped in a better form. The end of the stems don't even have to be stamped because they're anyway going to get underneath our leaves. Also, if you see, we are in like in this card, I have this pink is warm. Then we have the greens, which are the cool colors. And then I again have my pinks and warm. So layering cool and warm and pink, that also is more like you'd like to see it like this. You have like in this card also, when you have cools and warms coming together from the whole spectrum, the colors look more appealing. Okay, so after this is done, I have die cut some of my leaves. We will add dimension to our die cuts by adding some more ink. And so I'm going to do some inking on my leaves and for the pineapple as well. The hibiscus and the white flowers are just as they are. I have die cut my leaves and you can use any green which is darker than your. So especially for this light color leaf, I'm going to darken it with a darker color like just green. So any cardstock that you've taken, if you've taken an Altenew color cardstock, it would be similar to the names of your inks and stuff. So just go the next darker color in that family or two ahead as well. Like, if it is minty mint, you can go to just green and hunter green as well to increase the contrast and giving more depth to the foliage. So for this monster, I'm not adding any ink. I just have to glue this, the Venetian. I had thought that I will put my silicone mats before gluing. But I forgot. So if in case you have such dainty die cut, you may have some nice glues which have the tips, fine tips. That is perfect. But in case you don't have anything like that, you can just put some glue on your mat. And I like to just put my die cut over this glue and much more intricate is another thing that I do, especially when the intricate background dies. I put some glue on the back of my hand and then rub the die cut over it. But the same thing can be achieved on the mat as well. And if there are places where you've not been able to reach, you can use a scrap cardstock and just go underneath your delicate Venetian and then adhere it. So let's do some ink blending on our leaves. I am using just green. Oh yeah, actually I have that brush as well. So you can do that. This was, I think, Kathy Zilski's tip to add your glue. Like this is a very delicate one. So you can take the glue and add like this before you add it on your cardstock. A silicone brush which I have cut. It's, and I think Kathy also had seen uh, this done by somebody else. I am just going to add my ink from the water part of the leaf to the tips and leave the tips uncolored. Also, when we are going to assemble our leaves, there's another way, like on your cards or anywhere in designing. If you have a light color against a dark background, like in this card here, this is dark and then you have light here of the leaves. Then you have lighter. So if I have, if this is light, if I just leave it like it is, these two will be against each other and then the contrast will not be there. So when you're assembling and when you're thinking of how you're going to assemble, you can think of, having a light color and then a contrasting color, darker color, and then a light and build your layers like that. This is a very delicate die cut. If you want to add, go ahead and add. But even if you don't add much color to it, it is okay. I'm using hunter green. This is the darker green that I have taken. So I am adding the darker than the cardstock. This is a dark green already. And I have not done the assembly of pineapple or the hibiscus. So hibiscus I have not added any inking to the hibiscus. You can you can do for the shading, but this specific die cut or like the set has so many layers in itself and they themselves together give the contrast and the illusion of the depth. So adding more color to it really doesn't make much sense. But you can add in the center of the first bracket, you can add a little bit of darker pink because we are going to add my this piece which has the stamen is dark. So if I add a little bit of dark pink now to the center of my first layer, it will look like, it is a part of it. Otherwise, it's going to look a little not in place, not in the right place. So I am adding a little bit of Berylicious. This was the ink which was in front of me. Otherwise, you should use purple wine or poppy heart or some pink. But I just want to create a little bit of depth because the centerpiece is going to be on it. Now, when it is here, now it looks like it was a part of the center. Ladies, if you have any question or if you want to tell us and share something, please unmute yourself and tell us. And I'm not going to edit this video, so we can talk. Uh, because I will not be able to have a look at the chat. And then I feel like I've missed there was the whole party going on in the chat and I didn't even look at it. And when once everybody goes and I see the chat and I feel like, oh no, they were having such a great time and it was like silent party.
I packed the car. We are in the mountains for the next 2 months and all of my supplies, and I forgot glue.
Ah,
Very, very basic supply.
the long last layer of my hibiscus. So this was before the keyhole system came in place. But I mean, keyhole system has like changed the way we use die cuts. And now this looks like so like I'm fiddling with it so much. Like I don't know where to put it. Where is the right place to put it? When I was thinking about this class and like when I originally had the idea of using like bright pop of color for my cards and maybe make a class of it. I thought, yes, I can do this in 2 hours. And this class and the previous classes have been such an eye opener for me. Now my next classes I am not going to overwhelm myself or even you for that matter. We're just going to create one card and talk and get most of the things done slowly, no rushing. So I also have these small white flowers here, which is part of the same set. And so my yellows here on this card, yellows and white, is that 10% of the accent color. So yeah, I have my background, this is hibiscus and pink. 30 is my foliage, and the pop or the accent colors are the yellows and the whites. And when we are arranging, when we're going to arrange it, we sometimes like, even for me it happens that I feel like after 2 layers I feel like I think isn't the bulk is too much. But just adding glue to some of our die cuts and then one of them popping on foam tape actually doesn't create much of bulk. So this may look a lot of die cuts together, but this is just one foam tape with um it's not very bulky because I've used glue to adhere my layers. The second layer of my white flour is the same like vanilla cream, which I've used for the fruit bowl. Where is the bowl? So this is white and then cream and yellow and the dots are orange. And you can change the colors. So this color, whichever color you're going to use, is going to be part of that 10%. 10% of the accent color. We'll do pineapple a little later after I assemble this. I've done a little bit of ink blending for the pineapple layers. And if you have noticed in this hibiscus set, you have these small two dies which are the center of these white flowers. It's too tiny, but I've not lost them yet, I can type that.
Thank you.
After this class, I'm going to use these small dies, 100%. Something that I've already lost, and I've lost the yellow blanket also. Wow.
And you got a break. Could you come help me?
Be glad to.
That looks pretty intricate there.
It is.
What's happened is they've got this thing down to two people. And it's taped away, so the real term is on way far already. We gotta go back and find the NBC button.
Okay, so because it is too quiet, um, let us talk something
Well, I have a
else.
lesson learned.
Sorry.
I said I have a lesson learned. I'm
Yeah. What?
I ink blended. I started with light pink cardstock for all the layers of my hibiscus, and I was moving them around a little bit and got to the part that would be the lightest, and then discovered that the color wasn't coming out right, and realized it's because that's where I darkened my leaves. So,
Wow.
so it pays to clean up in between. Green and pink do not make a pretty color.
Yeah, because of the ink blending.
Yep. Oh, well.
So mostly, whenever you have a complementary color, if you add it together, even in watercolors or ink blending, or complementary colors will make it muddy.
Brown.
It will become brown.
Yep.
So you add yellow and violet. They look very nice when they're separate. Like if you have a violet cardstock and yellow die-cut flowers, it will look very nice. But if you use yellow and purple together, violet together in watercolor, and if they mingle together, that's a brown for you.
Yeah, the color is not ugly. It just is not the color I wanted.
Yeah, it becomes a bit muddy.
Yes.
Okay,
There's
so
a
now
place for it, but not on this card.
yes. But maybe it rained and it got muddy in the tropics.
Well, luckily I had another set cut in white, so we'll just make it white color on the white cardstock.
Okay, so now for my pineapple, I am going to use a light green cardstock to cut the first layer of my pineapple. So this includes the foliage, which we're going to darken with ink blending. And this is a bit, how a pineapple would be. So I looked at the Google images to see how the pineapple is, and it's greenish, orangish, the muddy color actually for the first layer. So we will lighten this with the light green cardstock and then add a bit of light oranges to the first layer of pineapple where the pineapple is, and then the darker greens for the foliage of like the crown of the pineapple. For my other two layers, I'm going to die cut in yellow
Thank
cardstock.
you.
Have this yellow, and we will do a little bit of blending to get our desired pineapple color. So let me just first die cut these out, and then I'll join you back for doing some ink blending. Carrie, are you here? I was thinking about asking what is the news about Emily?
Unfortunately, Emily has been extended a fourth time, and now they're not even giving them a date to look forward to. They said it's indefinite. So she's, she's holding up in some ways better than I am. I mean, because this meant her leave block in September that she'd put in for before she left last November on this deployment has been canceled. She won't be home in time, so she misses her big trip with my husband and son, younger son, and the time at home. So we just found this out a week ago Friday. So, it she's safe. She's able to contact us. There's a lot to be grateful for, so I'm trying to focus on that. But it is disappointing, and of course, tensions have escalated, so that's hard. It's bad for the whole world when things are so crazy right now. So, yeah. Thank you for asking, my friend.
Oh, I watched a few reels where the husband surprises with wife and the kids, and then it's like so emotional. And I was thinking, oh my God, Carrie, like I thought your daughter also comes and surprises you like that. Like the father was not due to come, and then he came, and it was a surprise. And then there's so many, like on it. I don't know if you start watching one thing, that is what the Instagram shows you. But I've been watching so many of these homecoming type reels where the brother is getting the valedictory ceremony is going on, and he's getting his uh, graduation certificate, diploma, or whatever it was. And then the sister comes in to give it. And it is like so emotional. And every time I see it, I feel like, oh my God, Carrie, I hope Emily is back, or like, at least you.
I will let you know when she comes back, I promise. But it's likely they'll be out a whole year, which puts her at November for the return. So right now, in fact, I have in the freeze dryer, I have some blueberry pie bites and some of her favorite cookies, which are frosted pineapple cookies, that I'm hoping will get to her by her birthday. She was supposed to be home. Well, originally she was supposed to be home mid-May. Then after the third extension, she was going to be home by her birthday, which is August 24th. But she's going to miss that now. So I'm hoping if I can get this package out next week, that she'll be able to have her favorite cookies and some blueberry pie bites to celebrate her birthday at least.
This is how parents think about their kids. So sweet. I'm so sorry about this. I felt like, the situation is better now. I mean, nothing is much in our countries. We have some more problems of our own here. But I felt like there is de-escalation of things. Sorry to hear that it's not now okay yet. Okay, we will do a little bit of blending for our pineapple now. And I am using light oranges for my green. So now this will make a little bit of interesting, not very raw pineapple. So this orange is only for the bottom part of our pineapple. The upper greens will get dark green. And this is sun-kissed and orange cream. So orange cream goes at the bottom here. So this is the closest I thought that I can make this first layer of pineapple closer to how it looks in real life. The second layer is, you can just keep it like this or just add a bit of sun-kissed again. Just to add a bit of color, especially when you have these small piercings. If you just rotate your brush there, the ink will get inside those crevices, and that actually makes it look more dimensional. And for my the first layer of the pineapple, I will use orange cream and a bit of any brown color that you have, because we will have a little brown on the upper area. then darken it when we go down. So this is rock shore. Brush had darker brown already on it. My pineapple, the body is ready. For the upper crown, there's another piece of green that we have for our pineapple. There's one which cuts along, and then another smaller one. I cut this out as well. And I'm going to start with just green and leave my tips light. So I add just green at the bottom and not add much of the green at the tips. And you can deepen this with the darker green, hunter green just at the bottom. Then we first add our pineapple, the yellows and this brown, and then add our foliage. So one small, like between you can use these brushes. So we could also have some other fruits from our set in this arrangement. But one more thing that we can be careful about, or like when we are thinking of putting things together, is the scale. So when you have one large focal image, then you can have other things to support the focal image. So now for like this card, my focal image is going to be this pineapple and the others are supporting it. So if I had, or maybe I could have added three bananas and then they would be similar size to the hibiscus. And you would not, that banana is also yellow, but the size would not have compensated along with when you have banana and this hibiscus together, you would not know where to look at. So we have one focal image and these five flowers are also like filling elements. These are like small filler pieces which will support your focal image. So the last layer, the perforated one, has to be on top. So you have to add all the three layers of um, the upper crown of the pineapple and then close the outermost lid or like this perforated piece of the pineapple. So now we can just go ahead and talk about how do we arrange these elements together. So, so what we were talking initially was about the color hierarchy, how we have 60% of the color in if this was the whole card, most of the color that you see this is pink. And also you don't have to think of repeating the color in your foreground as well. So I am repeating the color pink on the foreground as well. My 30% is the foliage. So you can go ahead. Now let's go ahead and assemble this card. So first we will put our foliage, which is the 30% of our card, 30% of the color. And now we are also building layers. I'm thinking of light against dark, bright against muted. So the dark green goes in the background, and so this is also how you perceive depth. Anything that goes behind is going to be darker, and something which is in the forefront is going to be lighter. Also, then when we are adding our elements, we can also think of how everything like adding our embellishments is in threes or in a triangle. Now also think of creating a visual triangle on your card base. Visual triangle with the leaves. So now this leaf is actually going to get underneath. But if you see this card, you have the 2 points for our leaves. So this is a visual triangle for our leaves. Then when we arrange the pineapple, the flowers, this is also creating the 3 points till where it has extended. So the extreme is here, 1 point, another point here, and the pineapple. So this is also a visual triangle. This triangle is not overlapping this leaves triangle, but there is a visual triangle. It is just a second. My computer. Then I have my monstera at one corner. So here I have my visual triangle with my foliage. Now this visual triangle is just with one color. The other triangle which we will be layering. So also layering, so we are creating depth. These are darker colors which are going down, and then lighter colors as we come ahead in our layers. The uppermost is going to be the lightest. So here you have, if you consider white as the lightest, this is at the first thing that you see is the lightest color, white here, and it is at the forefront. Then I'm adding my pineapple. Now pineapple is far now making this it is like in the center. This is our focal point. I want this to be focal point. That's why I will try to not cover it fully with my hibiscus and the other flowers. This is in the center. And then the other things are just supporting my design and supporting my pineapple's focal point. This hibiscus. Okay, so I have actually layered the one of the flowers with glue underneath the pineapple. So one flower goes underneath the pineapple with glue, and the one on top of it is added with a bit of uh, foam tape. So this one flower is gone underneath the pineapple. My hibiscus also is just added with glue. And this white flower on top of it. Now also my yellow is also repeating at three places on this, the stamens of this white flower, the same yellow in the pineapple, and the same yellow for the stamen of my hibiscus. So this also gives you a visual triangle. So the visual triangle doesn't have to be the same colors. It can be elements also. So here, the first triangle, which was of the leaves, is different leaves and different greens. The other visual triangle is of the elements that we have added, the pineapple, the flowers, and then also the little yellows that we have added, which is our accent color. The yellows and the whites being our 10% accent. And uh, one of the things that I like to do is that 10% you can add as your embellishments too. So if I say that my white is my 10% of the accent color, it's like in my house also I have like magenta and pinks as my accent. So I will have cushions and then I'll have some pink plate in the center of my coffee table. So here I have white and I've added white pearls here. So when I have here I have my yellows as my accent color and I've added the bow and these enamel dots with yellow. So you can bind different elements which are your 10% accent in the embellishment while embellishing your card as well. Adding twines or adding some threads, sequins. And because it is absolutely different color from the background, it is going to pop up more. Like it will not get hidden or camouflaged by the other colors. So with the foam tape, I'm adding my uppermost flower. And we can, like here, I have added a sentiment and a triangle of pearls. And then I think everybody has their way to add embellishments. I like to do 3 and 2, mostly 3 and 2, and sometimes one or probably if it was a dewdrop, I would have added on the petal. But this time I am just going to add it on a white color card base. Maybe I'll not do it right now because it's just wasting time, but this is how you are going to have our first card. I'm skipping the sentiment because probably I'll make it a birthday card. And this is how our first card is done. Now, the principles that we've spoken about in this card, most of them are getting repeated in all the other two as well. So let's do this card now. And it's a lot of die cutting. But before we add everything else, let us first make our background. So background is simple. I'm using 2 embossing folders. One embossing folder is the one which comes. Which one did I use? Okay, so this is the one that I have used for the wall or this part. And then I've used the deck planks for creating a table for grounding my bag. There's also a very cute nail in the set, which I really wanted to put, but there's something about keeping, like, I don't know, to ground something is in my head so important that I didn't understand. Like, I could not think of a way to ground something that is um, hanging. But now that I'm thinking, I could have done it like this, like, make it a wall and then make that, how you have wooden paneling done at around, 2 feet of around the wall at some, those old cottage houses. That could have been that. So I am going to emboss the whole background, my card base, the whole thing I'm going to emboss. And we're just going to add an extra layer of for the table texture. I am adding the texture with deck plant. This embossing folder, you can use if you have those plates, press plates that have beautiful wooden texture, you can go ahead and add that as well. I am using this teal color. This is an Altenew cardstock, but this is salvage from the one that got wet. From in the last class I showed you. So this is like all this wallpaper, and this area was straight, so I am using that. And this is just normal embossing, dry embossing, nothing fancy. I'm not using any color or anything in the embossing folder. But we're going to do that for our textured table. So I'm sure you've done it in a better way, but mine has come a bit wonky. So I'm going to just cut it, aligning it to the lines that have come on my cardstock. So there is great texture on both the sides. And for this card, I've actually used the one which has grooves inside. So it's actually the other side of the embossing folder, the wrong side. For my table, I am taking this beige cardstock and measure it. So here we can have most of the card. This is the wall, and you can actually reduce the size of your table as well. Or maybe this is what I was thinking, that if you divided it in 3 parts, like, so this 1/3 is full of the table and the rest is the wall. So there is no measurement to cut it. I am very weak at maths, so I don't believe in measuring, because I know I'm going to do something wrong while measuring as well. So I'm more of a visual person than mathematician. And that's why I have I also have that 4 tunnel class because I can't do a real tunnel. It's too much maths. Okay, so here what? So the two ways you can add texture to your card. One is add color on your embossing folders, on the embossing folder itself. So I have Rocky Shore, and I will just swipe my embossing folder with this ink. Now what happens is this is the upper lid, upper part where you have this Altenew written. Now if I add ink here, this ink is going to get into the grooves of the cardstock. So I will put my cardstock here and try to align it. And now when I emboss it, this brown, this rocky shore is going to get inside the grooves. So you can do that and use another color after we have dry embossed it to add more texture and color to the wooden table. So here is my textured table. Now after you have this, what you can do is use a lighter ink. I have sand dunes of the same family. And when I swipe it over, just especially the mini inks do a good job of adding a little more stripes or like the lines in the wood structure, and it gives you more interest. So you can do this. You can add a darker green if you want the green to be darker. Maybe you want a walnut finished table, but mine is like the fresh, uh, the timber house or like fresh pine eucalyptus wood. This is what is mine, a little lighter. It's not the same as this one, but it's close. So I will add my table sugar background. So just because some of you would want to know, this is around 1 3/4 of inch wide table. So it's a little less than 2 inches. So next, let us die cut these fruits. I've added peaches here in the bottom. I did not want to use a red color. I wanted it. So now, because the yellow is my accent color, I wanted the other colors to, the supporting equal or like similar colors are the oranges. So I chose the fruits which were a bit of yellow orange. If I had used red here, yes, maybe it would have looked nice. But also, uh, I felt like, this is when I think of what is my secondary color, my secondary color is also a bit of beige and brown. So this would actually bind in with the secondary color and also the yellow accent. So I will die cut these fruits. You can add any fruit you want. Maybe you could, like I've added an orange, half orange. Actually, there is another piece that should have gone underneath this. But you can use an apricot, half cut apricot as well, because I wanted to use an apricots too. But when I was making the card, I already had these die cut pieces ready with me. But this time I'm going to use the apricot. So let's go ahead. I have to die cut, and if you have die cut, that it's really good. I will just show you how to add a little more interest to your die cuts by using some pens or like color pens to add the dots on your oranges and some black marks on your banana. Also, the yellow of your bananas are two different yellows that I have used. One is a light yellow, and then this is the darker one. So the underneath the banana, the side of the banana which goes on the table is darker, and where probably there's more light coming, it is lighter. And oh yes, thank God. I'm thinking I don't have my bananas here in the set. Where is the banana? The banana is on the table. Very eager to cut banana. Also, sometimes you don't always have to. Actually, I have not used an orange color cardstock for my oranges here. I have used a yellow cardstock for the oranges too. And you can use just one color. Sometimes if you're like me, you do not have all the colors. If you don't have, you just use a darker ink and add to the second layer of our banana can be added with a little bit of ink blending. Like I think this is what Sarah also had done. She had ink blend in her cardstocks. Also, when there's like a dye which like banana, which cuts two bananas, it really doesn't make sense that you die cut one with another cardstock and the other one with the other. You can just use a little bit of ink blending to add dimension to your second piece.
Ishani, Tanya here. I'm going to have
Yes,
to
Tanya.
let you go.
All right.
Thanks for recording it, and I'll complete the project when you send it. Don't worry about the editing. It's your technique
Yeah,
we're after,
all
that's
right.
all.
Thank you
Take
so
care.
much, Sana. Thank you for joining. Thank you for taking time out. Thank
Okay,
you.
bye-bye.
Bye bye. Let's see. Also in the bananas, there is this small piece which goes on the extremities of the banana with the stem part. So you can die cut it with dark brown or black cardstock. Half of like the one which is underneath here is not even visible, but this one is visible here. Also, if you don't want to do the small thing, you can just when we assemble this, after assembling, you can use a black marker and add when if you don't want to play
Yeah.
with these fiddly small little pieces, you can just add a little black marker on the top of the banana.
So of the two pieces of the banana, should the smaller piece be darker?
Yes, the smaller piece should be darker because that will go under like at the bottom. It goes here.
So it goes under the larger piece.
No, it
No.
goes over the larger piece, but at the bottom. Like
Okay,
this.
that's what I needed. Thank you.
And I will take sun kissed again and kiss my banana with a bit of sun. And I have a darker yellow for the bottom part. Just not it. And I will assemble my banana first. And if you have a black pointy pen, a brown pen, a marker which has a pointy nib and some dots for your ripened banana. Maybe you just got it from the shop. Maybe it's not as well ripened. Maybe you want to keep it raw or like without any black dots. But I was planning to make banana bread, so I chose a ripened banana and then put it in my shopping bag.
My grandson was just with us for several days and he likes the bananas still green. I said, oh,
Ah,
Oh, that's when they're best.
oh.
wow, really? I
A little
can't
bit,
eat
a little
that.
bit green, just a little. And actually, they're more nutritious then too.
Yeah, once a banana gets one brown spot on it, it's going to banana bread. It's not getting eaten.
My grandmother used to say that the ones with black dots are healthier. This is what she used to say. And because as kids, we would never eat with one new dot on your everyone yellow, yellow, only yellow. And sadly, now I'm a mother. I have to eat such because my son chooses without the brown dots now.
Well,
But
so
I think that's not.
you have to tell him that the spots are healthier to get him to eat the ones that are riper.
He has to become a father to realize that, and only then he will eat like his mother. I would you will tell me all the health benefits without going to. I know I had all this. Maybe there's some worms inside. That's why it's black, black. It's like there's shit. So the things in my head. I was never a. My mother loves bananas. I'm not a fan of them. They have to be just right. They're such a difficult fruit to keep at home. They have to be just
Yes.
right to like to be eaten or to be. And then when my husband says, "Oh, you these bananas, you should have eaten them," and I go, "No, I was keeping them for the banana bread. You need a little overripe bananas for it."
I also really like them on a banana split. You know, a little ice cream with
Ah,
chocolate
yes,
syrup,
yes.
banana, and peanuts. That's really yummy
Oh.
too.
Oh, a banana peanut butter sandwich. That's good.
Mm.
Oh yeah.
So
Banana
with
and peanut butter
overripe
is the best.
No, with the just right
or
banana and
just
peanut
right.
butter.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah, as soon as they start getting spots, they go in the freezer for banana bread.
Oh, that's a great idea to put them in the freezer.
Yep.
So I am cutting my oranges with the dark yellow that I have, and then I'm going to add a bit of ink blending to give it the color. What is the time? Okay.
That clear shimmer would look pretty. It'd make this look like tile.
Oh, you're right.
Oh, please just give me a minute. I'll change my earphone. So when you cut your oranges in your cardstock, you will have uh, the numbers of the pieces written, and you can check your layering guide. Am I audible? Am I audible?
Yes, you are. You're audible. Hmm.
And was I audible when I was speaking about the layers?
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much. So we have our orange pieces. You can cut them with orange as well, no problem. But if you don't want to do that, you can just cut them with one color and then add darker orange for the body and lighter for the insides. So we alternate with autumn leaf and sun-kissed and orange. So I have these oranges, whichever oranges you have. Make your own orange. Challenge yourself to make your own orange. And one of the pieces can be just one whole orange as well. So here, this piece is like, half peeled, half opened orange, but you can just have one orange in this as well. So here you can actually create a glow on your orange by keeping one highlighting zone on your orange. So like if I first I go ahead, this is my yellow. So the lightest color will be the sun-kissed for me. And then I leave one part of my orange and not color that part and color around it. To, be, to make it look like a glossy yellow.
Oh, there it is.
And then you can add the darkest of the fire brick with the thinner detailed blending brush just at the edges. Add it with this edge. So here is my very nicey glossy orange, and we let this ink dry and then add some orange dots to show that the orange skin texture. And for the bottom part as well, we're going to do the same. We'll keep the we'll keep this little darker than our so the segment, the inside pulpy part will be lighter. Orange cream for the pulpy part. Lighter. Then I get or bottom glaze for the very segment area and the this will go underneath so it doesn't really have to be very perfect. I need to cut one more orange soon. Oh, I wanted to create an apricot. Oh, but I wanted to show an orange too. So maybe next time. Real quick, an apricot. This was we can just brush our apricot also with one color and then add peachy. What is that apricot or what? Oh yeah, apricot, right? Of peach. Sorry. All the people who live in the temperate region can tell us the difference between. I think this is a peach. The seed is like a peaches. The seed of this peach is, oh, it's peach only, it's written peach. Seed of the peach is so cute. I will cut the peach body once more because, or two times. Here I put two peaches. And actually, this is the peach, and I don't even know how a peach's leaf is, but I've added the apple's leaf as a peach leaf here. And it's just because I did not want a stark red apple. Actually, have a light green apple, but I mean, she's a nice. I'm cutting the body of the peach twice now because one is going to be connected to the forefront as half peach. And two will be the basket. For my seeds, with the beige, I will put my seed. For guys like the seedless, which has small indentations in itself, like on it, we can actually add a little bit of ink on the dye. Am I audible?
Yes, you're audible.
All right. Oh, I heard Ishani and then there was nothing. So you can add a bit of ink on the dye and then die cut it. So the wells, like the parts that are it wells will have that ice can be used in this way also. So here you have a bit of sustainability, a bit of ink in the crevices of the seed. Other piece in the body of the peach. This inner part, I can again go and sun kiss it. for, because this is a light peach color. Let me add a bit of. So I must have just used an orange on the sides here, but I want to try coral berry. Reddish. I think I'll go ahead and add my orange cream to this page. Did not. I was not happy with the color that I was getting. Actually, now that I add orange cream over coral berry, that gives a better color. Orange cream and coral berry together for the peach. We'll see. This is orange cream, a bit of orange cream, or maybe I'll just do orange cream for the peaches that go inside my bag. And this darker one can be the layer which is for my half peach. So this peach is peach color cardstock, light peach cardstock with orange cream at the sides. So these are the same colors that I've used for my orange also, but that time we were using a yellow cardstock. And here this is light peach and the same sun-kissed orange cream. I've changed the way our, so there's like similar family, same color inks being used, giving those similar colors, making it look more cohesive, being part of that 30% of a color. I will add my half eaten or half cut each first. We'll add seed. The seed also you can add a little bit of brown over it to make it more dimensional. This is the piece that I actually added a bit of ink with, and I'll now take a bit of sand dunes and go over it too. Maybe it needs a bit of other brown, like toasted, more. Still more to my seed. I've not opened the peach seed, but we have opened the apricot seeds to get the kernel, and I don't know in these seeds also they look similar to the ones in the apricots. Okay, for the so you can add a bit of green for your peach with the apple's leaf, which I have misplaced, and it's so small that in this clutter I'll not be able to find it. But it must be around. It's just not. It's too small to now locate. But anyway, so this green is the leaf of the apple, and so now most of the things are done. We can just go ahead and assemble. We have to die cut our bag. So I will also add a bit of texture on my orange. So for that, you can take any sketch pen or marker which has this ball point, pointy nib, and you can add dots on your orange for some texture. It's not visible to you, but if you have subtle texture on your orange, if you add small dots. Okay, so now coming to the assembly of the bag and how we adhere these, because we have to first figure out that how do we want our bag to, maybe you want it this side, or maybe you want it this side. Wherever you want, this will be we will again come to the visual triangle. So now I have this point, this is going to be my extreme point here. And this is again my extreme point. And I added my bow, so the bow ends here, and it also gives you, visually, I could add my bow here as well, but then I opted to add it at this corner. So now you have a visual triangle, you feel like, okay. And when you maybe given this corner up here, all this is also creating a triangle. The bows, the round portion of the bows. Here inside the back, we are again going to do the visual layer. We're going to do the layering and creating the depth and trying to alternate with the bright and muted, then again bright, that colors. So when you add, so everything is even visible. The peaches will be visible, the orange will be visible, but you create layers of it. Okay, so first we have to create my background. So for that, you can on your cardstock. You can adhere your background first. Also, before I am not somebody who is going to give you dimensions of my card case. Most of it is visual. Now I am cutting it a bit from the side because I want these lines to be equal distance. So if I have not got the core of the tile this side, so I will try to chop the other side also in a way that it looks visually similar. And then the back side of the card, like the card base, the white card base is going to give a little more border, but it doesn't matter. The tiles should be equidistant and similar in size. Just a bit more. And this one is going to be added on the cardstock with the help of double-sided tape. So in case you have got a piece of cardstock, just a second. Oh, it's actually it's okay. So in case you also got here also, if you have a less of tile left and here you will have more, use the lesser side at the bottom because you are going to have your table over it. And if here you have the whole tile on top, it will look better. It makes sense. So the anomalies or things that have not been cut right, we will hide it. You can use any side of your card. You want to use the ones which have those wells, you can use that. Or maybe the ones which have the raised edges, you can do that. Anything. For the chain, I will do the other way. There is also the yellow card that I wanted to show. It was the background. There's a stencil in this set, which I feel is like underutilized. So I wanted to create like a wallpaper with yellow paper and white flowers. So that is one thing which we usually do not do. Use our pigment white ink to color through stencils. So that is one thing I would like to talk about. And maybe not the whole die cut and material, it's all the same. But in case you have to leave, I understand. And if you're somebody who wants to watch a 2 hour long video unedited, please let me know. I'll add it as unlisted video on my YouTube for some time and maybe delete it later. But I don't want to keep it for public viewing without editing. I hope you don't mind because I want you to understand that this is just a hobby for me, just like it is for you. I'm not getting paid or anything. So putting in time for and people don't view. I don't view live 2 hour long lives or even an hour long live. I don't watch, so I don't expect people to watch, and I don't want to do that work of editing a 2 hour long video. When I'm making a YouTube video, I only record things which are required. Now I've just chopped this paper. That is not supposed to be the like unwanted part. That should be chopped off from the video. And if in case I was making a YouTube video, I would not have even recorded it. So that at least a video which is being recorded just for YouTube doesn't need that much of editing. But this video, like the class needs a lot of editing.
Oh, here's
I
another
have to
piece.
cut my table a bit to fit the wall. When you're adding glue, get a little thin layer of glue. Otherwise, when you're layering 2, 3 cardstocks together, it tends to warp. The glue, the layer of glue on the cardstock should be thin. Now it's time to assemble our fruits behind the basket. So we get our fruits, which is orange and banana. Okay, so I don't have a green leaf, but I have some unfinished card and I think this will be a cookie. Anyway, it is going to be underneath or like behind. Just a bit of green is good. So now I'm going to assemble it on my card and then lay my, if you don't want to do the guesswork, here is what I did. I added my banana first, Then I put my peaches. One peach which has the leaf on it. And the orange. And now we have to make sure that our fruits fit the curved portion of a basket. So try to fix it. Try to fit it all in. And now you feel like, yeah, this is good enough. What you do is first adhere your fruits on your cardstock and then add your bag over it. Because if you do the other way around, the ink blended portion, if we add glue on it, and then, if it will move a bit, that portion will look untidy. So I will carefully, and if you're using glue, you'll have some time to move it around before it all adheres. So putting the banana first, then adding one of the peaches which has a leaf on top of it, and one can go underneath the banana as well. So like this, one peach is on the side, the other peach is straight. So the curve of the peach, here again we have the contrast with the dark background and the light fruits on top of it. And we have light fruit here, so we put a darker orange on top of that peach. So you layer your colors as per the contrast. Light against dark, dark over the light, and I'll have time, yes. So the curve of my basket here matches the curve of the banana, and because it has a tilt, we can assume that the fruits are in one corner. Like, of the basket is weight a little, it's weighing a little more this side. Okay, and before I add my basket, you can get your twine and add your twine to it. I have chosen yellow because I had my yellow as my accent color. And before you add your bag, you can add the twine. Take a bow, and when we will adhere it, we'll put a little bit of glue on the knot of the bow as well. Sure, you can make better bows than I can. And that's why God gave me a boy, so that I don't have the trouble of making bows on ponies and.
I was thinking I might use the bow on the parchment bouquet set, and just stick it on there.
Yeah.
Also, just a reminder to everybody on the bingo card this month, there is one for bows and ribbon, and there's also one for layered flowers. So if you haven't used those yet, these two cards could work for those squares.
Oh, so please join the July Inspiration Challenge. I am the host this time, and I hope you like the. Thank you so much, Carrie, for the comment. I saw it today, and
Did a great job.
well, thank you so much. I am so. I mean, all those of us who play at the Inspiration Challenge, it's like, what else could we ask? What? Today is not my bow making day. It is not very pretty. But anyway, it works. So for adhering our bag, we just add the glue. You can use that brush if you have, or just put glue on your surface and add it on the sides of our basket. So we'll try not to add much of glue on the insides of the basket. We'll let it be. It will be more 3D and nice. And there is a bit of gap, and like there is a give of the basket. Sorry, of the bag. So we will try to add glue only at the sides of our bag. What bag is it? I mean, we don't have such bags in India. Is this kind of a special bag you use for fruits or something?
I think those mesh bags are more of a European thing.
Uh,
They have them in Mexico a lot.
Yeah, that's true too.
In California, we use fabric bags.
Mhm.
Lots of the stores sell them for a reasonable price, and they can be washed and reused. This is cute on
We have
on the
those, we have
card.
those in Michigan too.
Yes, for sure. That's a cute bag on the card, and I've seen them handmade in Mexico. And some people like to crochet that sort of thing too.
yeah, I mean, this is like, we have jute bags. We have such like basket weave kind of thing, which it is an art form. My grandmother used to make bags like that,
Yeah.
and but it was not so it was not so see through. Like this, these are big
Mhm.
triangles, but we could see things. I but this like, but this looks cute and cool and like so like elevated bag. I'm adding some glue with this paper. Maybe add a bit of weight to it. Till it appears. And then by that time, I can add, my peach. But, um, brown. Try it. Maybe I can add the sentiment here, and that will add what? Chosen. Okay. So I have added my sentiment on the top here. And this also white here also is like looking as a giving a bit of triangle. I've not adhered the upper part of the bag, and this peach is not does not look right. I'll not adhere it yet. Maybe maybe I can do orange and finish that orange and add it. But which will look okay. So let us just finish this. This is
Very
how we did
nice.
it. We add sentiment of your choice. And you can add a bit of glue on the bow so that the bow, like the fabric or the twine, the cotton, it's not cotton thread, so it will not open. So, and I have added a bit of enamel dots in a triangle here on my dark base, a light color. And this is our second part. And let's quickly do our third. Where is the white? Get it. Okay, so here I have used the stencils for the background, the stencils which are part of the set. I think most of us, even if we have made the cards with the set, we've not used the stencil. And I did not want to use it. Why to keep this out? So I've taken a dark yellow base for this card, and I'm going to do stenciling with the stencil of this set. But we're going to add layers of cloud white pigmenting.
I'm going to have to go, but thank you very much for your class. I enjoyed it and you have a great technique.
Oh, sorry, who's this?
This is Lynn in California.
Hi, Lynn. Thank you so much for joining. You're so sweet to join.
Thank you so much for doing the class.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much for your time. I'm so
Have a
glad
good
you
day.
joined.
Have a good
You
day.
too. Have a
Bye-bye.
nice day. Thank you. Bye-bye. Oh, Elizabeth, I'm sorry. I didn't even see that you joined. Oh, you muted. I'm sorry. Okay.
That's fine. I was late. I apologize.
No, not at all. Not at all. So here I have to recharge my phone. Okay, so for this card, so again for this card we have our 16 is our yellow and 30 is our white, and I will count this cream looking flowers white as well. But this was using the pigmenting. So here, let us just do the stenciling first. Now there are five flowers on this stencil, but I wanted a bit of greenery and the flowers, both of them together. So I first aligned my stencil in a way that I had leaves first. So I have here this leaf and this leaf. This is what we're going to first stencil, and then according to it we will stencil our flowers. Because flowers can go underneath the thing also, but visually if I have a green at two corners, it will look nice. So I am using just green for my first layer. You can use the second layer of green as well later. So this is just giving us the white, sorry, the leaves are giving us the guidance, guiding us where our white flowers will be. If we use the stencil as it is given, if we just keep stenciling, keeping them straight and stencil them as they are given, we would not actually need to do all this. But because I want certain, or not all the five flowers, I just wanted something to be visible behind my bowl. So I thought this arrangement was a good one. Also, we usually do not color on colored cardstock, and white flowers I had not attempted with pigmenting before this. So now after I have these, so this was my second stencil upside down, which created the upper two leaves in the corner. Now you can, now you already have your second, you have to turn your first stencil now to make sure where our flowers will be. So when I turn my first stencil, these three flowers, for 1, 2 on the upper, and this center flower is what we want on our card. So here we have, here I've put the stencil. There is already a an indentation or mark here on the second stencil where the flowers will be. Just, eye it. We don't want to have the flowers covering the leaves. So when you add your first stencil over your second stencil, before you start painting, just make sure that you do not have your flower touching the greens. I'm going to have it here. So there is this groove. There is this groove in this leaf. If you stencil this leaf on the left, you will see that this first flower will fit in the groove easily. And then we just go ahead and ink the first layer with the cloud white pigmentation. So on the start yellow, I have added pigmenting. Don't put much of it because we are going to come again with the second layer of the same class, like the layering stencil as this is. We'll put the second layer of the flower also with the white pigment. Also, this pigmenting is the one which can bleed, or like if there is more of pigment on the sides, it may take a long to dry. You can take your heat tool to dry the first layer, or maybe you can add the second layer a little later after you have arranged the other things. But yeah, let's do that. Let's go ahead and first also create with the same embossing folder that I had used for the wall for my second card. I've used the same embossing folder, embossed the white cardstock with it, and cut it in a way like as if it was a mat or a table or like something to ground our fruit more. So this is the way that I have cut it. There is no like geometry for it, but it is just again creating some a visual interest, letting the yellow peep out of the white. So we could have done the same thing what we did for the table as well. We can just add something which is grounding here, but letting the same color peep out from here gives it more interest. So if I think because it is already time, let's just talk about what I've done. This strawberry is from the strawberry patch, and this was actually one of the extra strawberries left in my my jar of extra die cuts, and that's what I have added. And actually, I thought this would be a way to get discount on the dies as well for people who are interested. For the bowl here, I've cut twice the bananas. I've added 2 of the bananas for my bowl. And I've added apple. So here I have the reds and the oranges as my accent. And we have white, yellow, the major color 60%, white as a 30, and our accent colors are the bright reds and the pinks and the orange. And we could actually have a teal color bowl as well. That would make it, then it would be 10% here. That would, and then we'll have to probably tie it up with some embellishments around. But I did not choose to go with another color. So keeping this as my focal point. And these are like, again, small filler pieces are your 10%, which are adding that to the card and giving just the accent. And also like what we spoke about, how having warm and cool colors sitting against each other. Here I have the warms and the neutral. So I'll consider white as my neutral here. So if this is again a different feeling, the color is not very cool, but yes, this is neutral. And we've also gone light and dark again for this color, this card, having an apple which is darker and then having a lighter banana over it that creates interest. So the same things that we've done for previous cards, the similar principles are used here as well. So now for our after our A2, so this was my A2. Now we have A3 that we have to lay over these flowers. So now again you turn your stencil upside down. If this is dry, go ahead and add another layer of color. If it's not dry, you can use your heat tool and add some dry it off. And so this second layer is not going to be very difficult. You can just see the outside edges of the flower and align your stencil according to the first floral image, inking, and then get a second layer of your pigmenting over it. Now, after this, you can actually try this and add one more layer of pigmenting so that your second layer is more stark and it looks a bit different, like you added more depth. So here it is almost as it was, it's not looking very different. So I will let this dry and then go ahead and add with my, I'm so sorry.
I think I'm like,
Dry this layer and add some more. Or you could also use some other ink over this, a light, maybe iceberg or the lightest blues or the lightest of grays. That also can be added to give a little more like differentiation of the petals. Makes me want to add iceberg to it. So this is my second layer. Let me add a bit of iceberg to it. And and then I think I'll just stop, and if you want anything more, you can let me know. So don't add iceberg much. Maybe I'll have to add a bit of white over it. Because the yellow cardstock and the blue is actually making it look a little greenish. So I'll let it dry. Don't attempt an iceberg over this. Just let it dry because pigment ink takes a longer time to dry. You either speed it up with the heat tool or let it be like this. Assemble your bowl. Okay, so assembling also here, what we've done is adhered the first layer of the bowl and the second layer just at the edges. This so this area of the bowl is not adhered. So here so it gives more dimension because here there's some extra shadows which will fall. And when you adhere just the edges of the bowl, it actually looks a bit more rounded. All right, Sarah, thank you so much.
Thanks. Bye-bye. See you next time.
Bye, thank you. So this is how you can do your second card. I'm sorry, this was like too much of work done in 2 hours and some homework for you to do alone. In case you have any queries because we've not finished this, please let me know in the email. I'll get back to you. Maybe in the coming week, we can just do a quick Zoom call also if you want to finish your card and you want me to do it along. Maybe if you're 2, 3 of us who want to do it, we can get together and do. So,
To tag Ishani when you post in the fan group